The Stoic truth that will set you free. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a crowded city square, shouting your dreams, your fears, your victories into the wind. The crowd rushes past, their faces a blur, their eyes barely glancing your way. You're pouring your heart out. But the truth hits hard. Nobody's really listening. Nobody cares as much as you do. And here's the kicker. That's not a tragedy, it's your liberation. Welcome to a truth that will shake you awake and set you free. Are you ready to stop performing for an audience that's not even watching and start building a life that's truly yours? Buckle up, because this is going to change the way you see everything. Let's dive into a raw, unfiltered truth that's as old as human history itself. Nobody cares about you the way you care about yourself. It's a gut punch, isn't it? You might be thinking, wait, what about my friends, my family, my followers? Sure, they might notice you for a fleeting moment, your new job, your latest post, your big win. But the second they turn away, you're a whisper in the wind, gone from their minds as they wrestle with their own lives. We live in a world that's desensitized, distracted, and drowning in noise. People are too busy battling their own storms to carry your burdens for you. And that's not a curse, it's a gift. Why? Because the moment you realize nobody's watching as closely as you think, you're free. Free from the exhausting performance of seeking approval. Free from the weight of expecting others to validate your worth. Free to stop chasing fleeting attention and start cultivating something real, something unshakable. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who mastered the art of living well, understood this deeply. They didn't waste their energy screaming into the void, hoping for applause. They focused on what they could control, their own minds, their own actions, their own purpose. And that's where your power begins. Imagine a life where you're not tethered to the opinions of others. A life where you don't wait for someone to pat you on the back or tell you you're enough. The Stoics taught us that true peace doesn't come from manipulating the chaotic world around you. It comes from mastering the one world you actually own, your mind. Stop expecting the crowd to care, and you'll stop feeling entitled to their reactions. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you from your doubts, and you'll stop feeling stuck. This isn't about becoming cold or detached, it's about becoming unstoppable. Let's talk about the trap of the spotlight. We live in an age where everyone's screaming for attention, on social media, in conversations, even in their own heads. People post their highlight reels, chasing likes, comments, and shares, hoping someone will notice, hoping someone will care. But here's the harsh wisdom of the Stoics. Nobody owes you a reaction. Your dreams, your pain, your ambitions, they're yours to carry. And that's not a burden, it's your strength. When you stop expecting the world to validate you, you take radical ownership of your life. You stop reacting to the chaos and start responding with clarity, discipline, and purpose. Think about it. How much energy have you wasted worrying about what others think? How many times have you hesitated, second-guessing yourself because you feared judgment? The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, saw through this illusion. He wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Isn't that wild? We're wired to crave approval from an audience that's barely paying attention. Your coworkers aren't lying awake at night dissecting your choices. Your old high school friends aren't keeping tabs on your progress. Even the people closest to you, your family, your best friends, they've got their own battles, their own dreams, their own chaos to navigate. Their world doesn't revolve around you, just as yours can't revolve around them. So, what happens when you let go of this myth that everyone's watching? The performance ends, the curtain falls, and in that quiet space, your real work begins, the internal work, the silent strength that builds resilience. This isn't about becoming selfish or shutting out the world. It's about shifting your focus to what truly matters, becoming the person you're meant to be. Not for applause, but for the sake of your own reason, your own growth, your own purpose. It's about cultivating a kind of confidence that doesn't need a spotlight to shine. Picture a lone craftsman in his workshop, carving a masterpiece in the dead of night. Nobody's there to cheer him on. No crowd to applaud his every move. Yet he keeps working, not because he's chasing fame, but because he's driven by the pursuit of excellence. That's the Stoic way. That's the path to becoming unstoppable. When you stop chasing external validation, You start building something real. Something that doesn't crumble when the likes stop coming or the attention fades. You earn respect through consistency. Through showing up for yourself day after day, whether anyone notices or not. This truth isn't cold, it's freeing. It's the spark that lights the fire of transformation. When you realize nobody cares the way you think they do, you stop performing and start becoming. You stop chasing fleeting moments of approval and start cultivating a life of purpose. You stop waiting for the world to change and start shaping yourself in the face of it. And in that shift, you discover a power that no crowd can give you, a quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are, no matter who's watching. So, where do we go from here? Let's kick things off with Chapter 1. The Myth of the Audience. One of the greatest traps in life is believing that everyone's watching. Judging, evaluating your every move. It's like living on a stage where you're constantly performing, terrified of missing a line or tripping over a prop. This illusion breeds anxiety, hesitation, and a life rooted in fear instead of authenticity. But here's the truth. The audience you're so worried about? They're not even in the theater. Most people are too caught up in their own stories to obsess over yours. Your old classmates aren't tracking your career moves. Your neighbors aren't analyzing your morning routine. Even the people who love you most have their own fears, goals, and battles taking up their mental space. The Stoics saw through this trap centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. Why live your life for an audience that isn't even paying attention? The more you try to be seen, the more you lose sight of who you really are. The more you chase the approval of others, the further you drift from your true self. So, let's flip the script. Instead of performing for a distracted crowd, focus on the one person who's always watching. You. Build a life that aligns with your values, your purpose, your vision. That's where the real power lies, not in the fleeting glances of others, but in the quiet strength of knowing you're living authentically, no matter who's in the room. This is just the beginning. Stick with me, and we'll unpack how to break free from the myth of the audience, how to master your mind, and how to build a life that's truly yours. Because when you stop waiting for the world to care, you start creating a world that's worth living in. Let's keep going. Your transformation starts now. We've just uncovered a liberating truth. Nobody's watching you as closely as you think. That imagined spotlight? It's an illusion, and it's time to step out from under it. Now, let's dive deeper into what happens when you let go of the crowd's fleeting gaze and start living for your own purpose. Picture yourself breaking free from a cage you didn't even know you were in, ready to walk your own path, guided by your own compass. This is where the real journey begins, and it's going to set your soul on fire. We've all been there, haven't we? Frozen in place, second-guessing every move, wondering, what will they think? We post a photo, craft a caption, or hesitate before making a bold choice. All because we're haunted by the imagined judgment of others. We chase likes as if they're love, comments as if they're wisdom, shares as if they're proof of our worth. But let's be real. Most people scroll past your life in a heartbeat. Their glance is fleeting, their reaction a flicker, gone before you can even blink. Why do we let something so temporary hold so much power over us? Think about it. That post you agonized over? It's a blip on someone's screen, forgotten as they swipe to the next story. That decision you're scared to make because of what they might say. They're not even thinking about you. They're too busy wrestling with their own doubts, dreams, and distractions. So why do we surrender our sense of self to this impermanence? Why do we build our identities around the fleeting opinions of people who won't remember what they saw by tomorrow? It's like pouring your heart into a sandcastle, only to watch the tide wash it away. It's a theft of your inner compass, a betrayal of your own potential. Every time you pause, wondering what someone might think, you chip away at your alignment with your true self. You step off your path, away from your principles, and toward a performance that's not even yours to give. This is the real cost of living for an imaginary audience. It's the slow death of authenticity. But here's the flip side. This truth isn't meant to isolate you. It's meant to set you free. It's an invitation to shift from performing for others to pursuing your purpose. Imagine the weight lifting off your shoulders when you realize you don't need to impress anyone to live a meaningful life. If nobody's watching, why act to impress? Instead, act to improve. Build your life not to be seen, but to be solid, grounded, unshakable. Live not for the fleeting rush of praise, but for the quiet, steady peace that comes from knowing you're true to yourself. The absence of an audience isn't the absence of meaning, it's the beginning of it. It's the open field where your integrity takes root, where you test your values in the quiet moments, where you create without expecting applause. This is the proving ground for your character, where you show up, day after day, even when no one's clapping. This kind of growth isn't flashy. It doesn't come with fireworks or viral moments. It's invisible at first, built through silent victories only you know about, the early mornings you pushed through. The choices you made because they were right, not because they were noticed. But over time, these quiet efforts stack up. They forge an unshakable core, a strength that doesn't need validation to stand tall. Picture a tree growing in a forest, its roots digging deeper with every season. Unseen but unbreakable. That's you, building resilience through discipline, through self-trust, through showing up when no one's watching. When you strip away the noise of seeking validation, you make space for truth. You stop tweaking your life to fit the opinions of others and start shaping it by your own principles. In that silence, in that solitude, you'll hear something powerful, the voice of your own conscience. It's not the crowd's cheers that will echo in your soul, it's your own internal dialogue. Asking, am I living in a way that aligns with who I want to be? That's the voice that matters. That's the one worth listening to. When the imaginary audience fades, your character takes center stage. Your actions stop needing applause, they become extensions of your values. Reflections of your inner order. You become your own compass, your own witness, guiding yourself with clarity and purpose. Feel that freedom wash over you, like a cool breeze on a summer day, soothing and grounding. You don't need to be watched to walk upright. You don't need to be seen to be worthy. The Stoics knew this truth. Real worth is forged in obscurity, in the quiet hours when no one's looking. Imagine shaping your discipline when the stands are empty, building your strength when no one's handing you a trophy. That's where nobility is born, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, where you act with virtue, not vanity. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that a wise person finds contentment within themselves, not in stagnation, but in direction. They know where they're going, and they walk with steady purpose, eyes fixed on the path, not the crowd. Trends will shift, opinions will sway, but the path of virtue, courage, temperance, wisdom, endures. So, walk that path with intention. Walk it when it's lonely, when it's quiet, when the world feels indifferent. Live in a way that would make sense even if no one ever knew what you did. That's the true measure of strength. That's the myth of the audience undone. That's when your life stops being a performance and becomes a principle-driven masterpiece. Start each day with one simple question. Am I doing this for me? Or for them? Close your eyes, shut out the imaginary crowd, and ask yourself, if no one ever knew I did this, would I still do it? That question is your North Star. It cuts through the noise, revealing what truly matters. It's the spark that lights the way to a life of purpose, where every step you take is yours, and yours alone. Keep walking, we're just getting started. Chapter 2: Shattering the Myth of Entitlement. You've just unraveled the myth of the audience, stepping out from under the imaginary spotlight to claim your freedom. Now, let's confront another trap that keeps us stuck: the dangerous belief that the world owes us something. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness, your life, your choices, your future stretching out before you. The path isn't paved, and no one's handing you a map, but that's where the beauty lies. Let's dive into Chapter 2 and discover why letting go of entitlement is the key to unlocking your true power. There's a subtle poison that creeps into our minds, whispering that because we exist, we're owed something: recognition, support, happiness, fairness. We tell ourselves, I tried, so I deserve praise, or I'm hurting, so someone should help. We wait for the world to notice our efforts, to applaud our struggles, to hand us what we think we've earned. But here's the Stoic truth that cuts through the noise. Life owes you nothing. Not love, not success, not comfort, not justice. And yet, that's not a reason to despair, it's a reason to rise. Why? Because in a world with no guarantees, Everything you build carries real weight. Every step you take, every choice you make, becomes a testament to your strength. Imagine you're expecting life to roll out a red carpet for you, complete with cheering crowds and golden trophies. You show up, put in the work, and wait for the rewards to pour in. But when they don't come, what happens? Every setback stings like a betrayal. Every moment of silence feels like rejection. You start to resent the world for not giving you what you thought you deserved. That's the trap of entitlement. It conditions you to wait instead of work, to demand instead of develop. It's like standing in the rain, shaking your fist at the sky, demanding it stop pouring. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus had a better idea. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Isn't that a game changer? It's not about giving up, it's about embracing reality with clarity and courage. The root of our suffering isn't the pain itself, it's our resistance to what is. When we cling to the idea that we deserve a different outcome, a smoother path, or a louder cheer, we grow bitter. Bitterness is a poison you drink, hoping the world will feel sorry for you. But growth? Growth happens when you let go of what you think you're owed and accept that nothing is promised. Not love, not support, not success. Every day you wake up breathing, thinking, feeling. That's not ordinary. That's a gift. You could have been born in a different time, a different place, with a heavier burden. Yet here you are, alive, capable, with a mind that can reason and a heart that can dream. That's your starting line. That's your spark. Releasing entitlement doesn't mean shutting down your hopes or hardening your heart. It means stepping into your power. It means saying, if life owes me nothing, then I'll build it myself. Picture yourself as a sculptor, chiseling away at a rough block of stone. No one's watching, no one's clapping, but with every strike, you're shaping something extraordinary, your character, your destiny. The Stoics didn't measure success by what they gained. They measured it by who they became. Success isn't a pile of trophies or a flood of likes, it's the quiet strength of staying composed when life throws curveballs, of standing tall when nothing goes your way. So, when nothing is promised, what do? You don't despair, you prepare. You train yourself to build from the ground up, to embrace the risk of heartbreak, the weight of discipline, the solitude of forging your own path. You learn to weather the storms without demanding applause. This isn't about becoming cold or cynical, it's about becoming empowered. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing your progress belongs to you, not to your parents, your partner, your past, or your circumstances. It's yours. And that truth is both a burden and a blessing. Why? Because if it's up to you, it's also within you. You are the architect of your life. You're the spark that ignites the fire, the hand that shapes the stone. You're the one who starts when no one tells you to, who persists when no one cheers. You don't need permission to chase your purpose. You don't need validation to keep going. All the strength, clarity, and courage you've been searching for? It's already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. Imagine the freedom of knowing you're equipped with everything you need, not because life handed it to you, but because you chose to claim it. Letting go of entitlement means taking full accountability. No more waiting for the right time. No more blaming others for your setbacks. No more hoping someone will swoop in to rescue you. It means standing up and saying, I'll shape my destiny through the choices I make, even when no one sees. It's cultivating your mind, sharpening your discipline, and walking forward with purpose. Not because you're guaranteed a reward, but because the act of becoming is reward enough. That's self-respect in action. That's the Stoic way. So, ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped waiting for the world to owe you something? What if you embraced every challenge, every silence, every storm as an opportunity to grow stronger? The path isn't easy, but it's yours. And every step you take, every choice you make, is a chance to build something real, something that no one can take away. You are the builder, the vessel, the reason. Let's keep going, because your journey to unshakable strength is just beginning. Chapter 3: Radical Ownership of Your Mind. You've just shattered the myth of entitlement, choosing to build your strength instead of waiting for life to hand you what you haven't earned. Now, let's take that energy and turn it inward, to the one place where your true power lies, your mind. Imagine it as a fortress, your last bastion of freedom, where every choice you make shapes who you become. Ready to claim that power and steer your life with unshakable clarity? Let's dive into Chapter 3 and discover what it means to take radical ownership of your inner world. Entitlement keeps you stuck, waiting for the world to deliver what it never promised. But ownership? Ownership moves. It's the spark that ignites transformation. The courage to step forward when life feels like a storm. When you stop expecting handouts, praise, comfort, fairness, you gain the freedom to shape yourself without limits. Instead of begging for a lighter load, you start building a stronger back. Picture yourself as a warrior, not clenching your fists with demands, but standing tall with an open mind ready to adapt and a heart steady enough to endure. Why wait for the world to clear the path when you can forge your own? This choice isn't about chaos or complaint, it's about clarity, deliberate steps, and a refusal to let life's noise dictate your direction. The world won't pause to hand you peace. It won't stop to clarify your purpose. That work is yours to do. Peace isn't a gift you receive, it's a garden you cultivate. Seed by seed, through discipline and intention. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon by chance, it's something you earn through every choice you make. When you stop waiting for the storm to pass, you start walking into it with your eyes wide open. You become the one who builds shelter while others seek escape, who finds steadiness in the heart of uncertainty. This is the essence of Stoic strength, not a fantasy of a perfect life, not a dependency on others' approval, but the courageous, daily construction of your character. It's what you choose when no one's reminding you, what you uphold when no one's clapping, what you refine when no one's watching. Strength isn't forged in the spotlight, where the crowd's cheers drown out your truth. It's forged in the shadows, in the quiet moments when you decide to keep going. Can you imagine the power of acting as if no one's coming to save you? That's the moment you rise. That's when you realize the hero you've been waiting for is already here. It's you. You are the lighthouse in your own storm, guiding yourself through the waves. Your past self is counting on you to keep moving forward. Your future self is watching, waiting to see who you'll become. Let them witness the day you stopped reaching for a hand to pull you up and started laying your own foundation. Try this. Write down 3 things you think the world owes you, maybe recognition, fairness, or love. Now, cross them out. Draw a bold line through each one. Replace them with 3 things you'll earn for yourself: resilience, purpose, self-respect. Pin that list to your wall. Let it be a daily reminder that you're not waiting, you're working. Now, let's dive into Chapter 3, Radical Ownership of Your Mind. The Stoics believed your mind is the only territory you truly control. Not your house, not your job, not your reputation. Those can all be taken away. But your mind? That's your kingdom, your last frontier of freedom. Yet, most people abandon it without even realizing. They guard their phones more fiercely than their thoughts, polish their social media profiles more carefully than their beliefs, and invest more energy in their outward image than their inner strength. Isn't that wild? The one place where your power lives, your thoughts, your reason, your choices, is often left unguarded, open to every distraction and doubt. Think of your mind as a fortress. Most people fling open the gates, letting in every passing disturbance, scrolling through endless feeds, chasing trends, reacting to every opinion. They surrender their sovereignty one click, one outburst, one fear at a time. They become slaves to the noise, both external and internal, consuming instead of creating, panicking instead of preparing. But Marcus Aurelius had a different vision. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind is the captain of your ship. You can't control the storm, the chaos of the world, the opinions of others, but you can control the captain. And when you claim that post, you can steer through anything. Imagine rebuilding that fortress, brick by brick, within your own skull. Every time you choose clarity over confusion, discipline over distraction, you're strengthening the walls. You're fortifying your inner citadel, creating a space where your emotions stand steady, no matter what the world throws at you. This isn't about silencing your thoughts or ignoring the chaos, it's about commanding your reactions, choosing your direction, and finding clarity in the storm. When you stop looking outward for peace and start building it within, everything changes. You become unshakable, not because the world stops shaking, but because you've learned to stand firm. Radical ownership means taking back your mind from the noise. It means refusing to rent out your thoughts to fear, doubt, or fleeting trends. It's choosing to create instead of consume, to prepare instead of panic. Every disciplined choice, every moment of restraint, every act of courage starts here, in the quiet kingdom of your mind. You don't need the world's permission to claim it. You don't need applause to fortify it. All you need is the courage to start, the discipline to continue, and the vision to see it through. Your mind is your power, own it, and you'll own your life. Let's keep moving forward. The storm's still raging, but you're no longer at its mercy. You're the captain, the builder, the lighthouse. What's the next step in claiming your inner strength? Stick with me, and let's find out. Chapter 4: Crafting Your Inner Citadel. You've claimed ownership of your mind, stepping into the captain's seat to steer through life's storms with clarity and purpose. Now, let's explore what happens when you fortify that inner fortress, transforming chaos into order and noise into clarity. Picture your mind as a workshop where every thought, every choice, shapes the masterpiece of who you're becoming. Ready to carve out a life of unshakable strength? Let's dive into Chapter 4 and discover how radical ownership turns your mind into a powerhouse of resilience and focus. As you take control of your inner world, something remarkable happens. The noise of the outside world, trending topics, fleeting opinions, endless distractions, starts to fade. You begin to see patterns where there was once only chaos, like a sailor spotting constellations in a starry sky. Instead of reacting impulsively, you choose your responses with intention. Every thought becomes a stone in the foundation of your character. Every principle a beam that holds you steady. Your emotions? They're no longer tyrants dictating your actions, they're tools, carefully wielded to build a stronger you. Your thoughts become companions, guiding you forward, not saboteurs tearing you down. Your attention? It's a weapon, sharp and focused, no longer scattered by the whims of the world. Imagine standing in the middle of a bustling city, voices and screens clamoring for your focus. Yet, you're unmoved, anchored by a core of calm within you. You're no longer pulled by the chaos around you. You're driven by the clarity inside you. The more you govern your inner world, the less you need to control the external one. Why chase what's trending when you can invest in what's timeless? Why lose sleep over others' opinions when you're obsessed with your own clarity? You stop chasing fleeting stimulation, likes, notifications, approval, and start building stillness. You become centered, stable, sharp, like a blade honed by discipline and purpose. This kind of ownership is rare because it's not easy. It demands accountability, the kind that makes you face yourself without filters or excuses. It asks you to stop hiding behind distractions and start seeking direction. Distractions are seductive, aren't they? They're loud, shiny, promising instant gratification, but they're a mirage, pulling you away from your power, delaying the progress that's waiting for you. Direction, on the other hand, requires courage. It demands honesty about the beliefs you've carried, some planted by others, by culture, by old wounds, or by the endless scroll of media narratives. Without awareness, these ideas silently shape your choices, steering your life in ways you might not even see. Radical ownership means becoming the architect of your mind. It's about examining those beliefs with curiosity, not judgment, and asking, is this mine? Or was it handed to me? It's tearing down old structures, self-doubt, comparisons, lies you've told yourself, and building something stronger in their place. Picture yourself as a builder, laying each brick with care, constructing a mental fortress that stands firm no matter what storms come. This work isn't a one-time event, it's a rhythm, a daily practice of returning to yourself. It means sitting in silence long enough to hear the voice beneath the noise. Asking hard questions without rushing to easy answers. Journal, reflect, question, correct, and come back to yourself, over and over, like a craftsman perfecting their art. This process isn't always dramatic. Often, it's quiet, repetitive, even inconvenient, but it's in these small, unglamorous moments that greatness takes shape. It's showing up when no one's watching, choosing discipline when it's not exciting, leading yourself forward when it's easier to hide. That's when your character is carved. In the moments no one sees but you. It's keeping your word to yourself when no one knows you made a promise. Can you imagine the strength that comes from that? It's not the kind you can fake or borrow. It's the kind that's forged in the quiet. Built through consistency, earned through showing up day after day. The world may be chaotic, but your response is your responsibility. That's your philosophy, your fire, your calm. You can't control what comes at you, the criticism, the setbacks, the noise, but you can control what comes out of you. You can't dictate the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't avoid all pain, but you can choose not to waste it. Your composure, your resilience, your thoughts, they're not random. They're clay in your hands, ready to be shaped and refined. Every day, it's your duty to mold them with intention, to choose clarity over confusion, strength over surrender. What would your life look like if you treated your mind as your greatest asset? What if you guarded it as fiercely as you guard your phone? Polished it as carefully as you craft your image? The Stoics knew that your mind is where your power lives. It's where every act of discipline, restraint, and courage begins. So, keep building, keep showing up, keep asking the hard questions and choosing the harder path. Your inner citadel is rising, brick by brick, and with every choice, you're becoming the person who can weather any storm. Let's keep going. Your masterpiece is still taking shape. The discipline of self-focus. You've begun to fortify your mind, transforming it into a citadel of clarity and strength, where every thought is a deliberate choice. Now, let's take that power and sharpen it through the discipline of self-focus. Imagine your attention as a spotlight. Where you aim it shapes your life. Are you ready to turn that light inward, to cultivate a mind so steady that no storm can shake it? Let's dive into Chapter 4 and uncover the sacred work of tending to your inner world. Your mind is yours alone to shape. No one else is thinking your thoughts, filtering your focus, or guarding your attention. That's your job, a sacred one. The quiet labor of the soul. It's not flashy, and it won't win you likes or applause. But it will bring you back to yourself. Piece by piece, day by day. Picture yourself as a craftsman, chiseling away at a block of marble, revealing the masterpiece within. The Stoics believe that how you tend to your mind is the truest reflection of your character, not the words you speak in public, but the thoughts you harbor in private, not the mask you wear for the world, but the strength you build within. It's your self-talk when you stumble, your discipline when no one's watching. That's who you are. So, guard your mind like a fortress. Shape it with the care of a master artisan. Reclaim it like a warrior returning to their homeland. Fortify it with discipline. Furnish it with reason. And defend it with intention. This work takes patience. Because mastery doesn't shout, it whispers through repetition. When you master your mind, you become sovereign in a world that thrives on noise and conformity. You become your own anchor. Unshaken by the crowd. Guided by your own code. You become clear, free, and unstoppable. Freedom, in the Stoic sense, isn't escaping the world, it's controlling yourself within it. Isn't that a kind of power worth chasing? Here's a simple practice to start. Take 10 minutes each morning to sit in silence. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. Sit with them like you'd sit with an old friend. Not to judge or fix, but to listen. Notice the patterns. The quiet whispers of fear or hope you might usually ignore. In this stillness, your true inner world begins to speak. Write down 3 thoughts that serve you, constructive, clarifying ideas aligned with your principles. Then, write down 3 thoughts that sabotage you, fears, doubts, or worries that hold you back. Don't just note them, interrogate them. Where did they come from? Are they rooted in truth or in fear? Keep the helpful ones, strengthen them, and return to them throughout the day. Challenge the harmful ones, question their authority, and replace them with something better, something grounded in reason and virtue. Over time, this practice rewires your mind. You become less reactive, more reflective, like a lake settling into stillness after a storm. You start to see through the noise, mastering the art of attention. Do this daily, without fail, and watch your mental landscape shift, not in dramatic bursts, but in steady, silent progress. This is how a Stoic begins the day, with awareness, clarity, and control. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up, day after day, to tend to the one thing you truly own, your mind. Now, let's move into Chapter 4, the discipline of self-focus. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's strategic. A matter of survival in a world where attention is currency. Every moment you spend caught up in someone else's drama, scrolling through their curated lives, or comparing yourself to their highlight reels is a moment stolen from your own transformation. The Stoics knew that a distracted mind is a defeated one. You can't build a strong body by watching others lift weights. Just like you can't write your story by reading someone else's. Every ounce of energy spent on comparison is an ounce taken from your potential. Why let someone else's path blind you to your own? Picture yourself on a racetrack, running your own race. Every glance at the runner next to you slows you down, pulls you off course. The Stoics didn't chase after others' victories, they chased alignment with their own principles. Admiring someone else's strength won't make your own muscles grow. Watching others win doesn't train your resolve. You must become your own standard, your own motivator, your own audience. Self-focus means turning your gaze inward, measuring yourself not against others' successes, but against your own potential. What could you become if you stopped looking sideways and started looking forward? This discipline isn't about ignoring the world, it's about prioritizing your growth within it. It's choosing to invest your energy in what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your purpose. Every time you resist the pull of comparison, you reclaim a piece of your power. Every time you choose clarity over distraction, you take a step toward freedom. The world will always be loud, chaotic, pulling you in 1,000 directions. But you can choose to be steady, to be focused, to be the one who shapes their own path. That's the Stoic way, living with intention, building with discipline, and growing through self-focus. Keep your eyes on your own race, and let's see how far you can go. Chapter 5: The Stoic Path to Lasting Strength. You've embraced the discipline of self-focus, turning your gaze inward to measure your growth against your own potential, not the world's applause. Now, let's walk the Stoic path, a quiet, deliberate journey where every step sharpens your character and anchors your soul. Picture yourself as a sculptor, chiseling away at the raw stone of your life, crafting a masterpiece that no one else needs to see, ready to discover the power of living with intention, even when the world is silent. Let's dive into Chapter 5 and uncover the strength that comes from walking this path. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Are your thoughts clearer, your actions more intentional? These are the Stoics' metrics, simple questions that carry profound weight. They pull you back to truth, cutting through the noise of a world that urges you to compare yourself to others. Social media, with its likes, followers, and curated highlight reels, screams for you to measure your worth by external standards. But the Stoic whispers a different call. Root yourself in who you're becoming, not who others appear to be. Real growth doesn't shout for attention or arrive with fanfare. It builds in the stillness, in the quiet moments of discipline when no one's watching. It's personal, internal, sacred, and invisible to those who only see performance. Imagine your life as a house under construction. The world cares about the shiny exterior, how it looks, how it compares. But the Stoic builds from the inside out, focusing on the foundation, the beams, the structure that holds it all together. The only comparison that matters is between your past self and your present integrity. Are you living aligned with your values? Or are you just trying to look impressive? Discipline isn't about doing the hard thing once, it's about doing the essential thing over and over. Even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unnoticed. It's keeping your promise to yourself when progress feels invisible. When no one's praising you, when the world doesn't care. That's where greatness takes root, in the quiet repetition of showing up. Discipline is the invisible framework beneath the surface, the scaffolding that makes you solid when life tests you. And trust me, life will test you. It's not reactive, waiting for the storm to hit before scrambling to respond. It's proactive, preparing you to stand firm before the winds even begin to howl. Picture it as armor you forge in the quiet moments. Armor that keeps you grounded when chaos strikes, steady when inspiration fades. It's the voice in your head that says, again, when you'd rather quit. The resilience that grows when you refuse to negotiate with excuses. It's choosing what's right over what's easy. Every single time. Isn't that the kind of strength you want to carry? Every time you listen to that voice, you grow stronger, not louder, not more popular, but stronger in the places that matter. Courage, consistency, inner peace, composure. Control. Character. This is the Stoic's path, defined not by ambition for fame, but by alignment with truth. It's not measured in claps, trophies, or viral posts. It's measured in resolve. It's the path of someone who rises not because of attention, but because of intention. Someone who answers life's silence with structure. Who walks not for spectators, but for the soul. It's a quiet path, deliberate and hard, but it's the only one that leads to lasting peace. This path doesn't bend to the weather, moods, or trends. It's like a stone, unmoved by the chaos around it, demanding that you carve yourself against its resistance with patience and persistence. Progress on this path isn't always loud or immediate. It's a slow, steady accumulation, like water shaping a canyon over time. Every time you resist distraction, you reinforce your direction. Every promise you keep to yourself sharpens your integrity. Your character is molded in those small, thankless moments, when you choose discipline over comfort, values over emotions, persistence over fleeting motivation. Can you feel the weight of that choice? It's not showmanship, it's strength. The Stoic's path isn't paved with ease or decorated with praise. It's anchored in principle, built with courage, and sustained by consistency. It asks you to act even when convenience fails, to hold fast to your values when your emotions rebel, to keep going when motivation vanishes. This isn't about performing for an audience, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. For yourself, your highest self is watching, not shouting, not cheering, but observing. It remembers every step you take, every choice you make, every moment you choose to rise. So, ask yourself, are you walking this path for the world's approval or for your own truth? Every day you choose discipline, even when no one notices, even when it feels like you're climbing uphill in silence. You become more powerful, not in the eyes of others, but in the eyes of the person you're becoming. That's the Stoic's way, a life of intention, carved in quiet moments, built on the unshakable foundation of your own resolve. Keep walking, keep carving, keep becoming. The path is yours, and the next step is waiting. Chapter 6: From Reaction to Response. You've embraced the Stoic path, carving your character through quiet discipline and self-focus, earning the silent respect of your highest self. Now, let's explore how to transform fleeting reactions into deliberate responses, turning chaos into clarity. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse, standing firm amidst crashing waves, guiding your life with unwavering intention, ready to claim the power of choosing how you respond to the world. Let's dive into Chapter 5 and discover the strength that comes from mastering your reactions. In the quiet work of tending to your mind, you earn something profound: self-respect. It's not the loud applause of a crowd, but the soundless ovation of a soul that knows it stayed true. It's a reward no one can take, fake, or buy. Only you can earn it. One disciplined day at a time. Picture it as a flame you nurture, growing brighter with every choice to honor your values. To make this real, set aside a daily, no comparison hour. No social media, no scrolling, no measuring yourself against others. Instead, reflect on your growth, journal your progress, identify one area where you're weak and commit to one small action to improve it. Keep that promise. Repeat it daily. This isn't just a habit, it's how discipline becomes your identity. How you transform from someone who waits for validation to someone who creates their own strength. Now, let's move into Chapter 5, From Reaction to Response. Most people are walking triggers, aren't they? A single comment, a sidelong glance, a stinging headline, and their day spirals out of control. A missed text, a rude remark, a piece of bad news, it's enough to hijack their mood, dissolve their focus, and shatter their balance. Their mind becomes a hostage to emotions they never pause to examine. Caught in an automatic chain reaction they don't even see coming. But the Stoic is different. They don't react, they respond. They don't flinch in the face of chaos. Instead, they step back, observe, and act with clarity, like a captain steering through a storm with a steady hand. That's power, not over the world, but over themselves within it. Reactivity is the mark of an untrained mind, a kind of emotional slavery where your nervous system calls the shots and your reason stays silent. It's what happens when external chaos triggers internal collapse, when a single moment of frustration derails your entire day. But to respond? That's to reclaim your throne. It's declaring, I won't be ruled by noise. I won't let random events steal my peace. I won't allow the unpredictable world to dictate my character. It's choosing to move deliberately, to shape your life instead of letting it drag you along. Response isn't about delay, it's a declaration of willpower. A pause to think, to insert reason where instinct once ruled. It's stepping in before your emotions cause damage that your mind must later repair. Seneca taught that a wise person finds contentment not by chasing more, but by training themselves to stay unshaken by less. This isn't apathy, it's awareness. It's not indifference, it's influence over your own soul. The Stoic feels deeply, but they don't let feelings make their decisions. Between every stimulus and your response lies a space, a sacred space where your freedom lives. That's where your dignity is forged, where your sovereignty begins. Will you be a puppet pulled by every emotion, or a person guided by reason? Will you let every insult take root, or filter life through your values instead of your wounds? When you move from reaction to response, you shift from weakness to strength, from being tossed by life's waves to walking with authority. Imagine yourself as a still point in a spinning world. Instead of echoing the chaos around you, you broadcast clarity. You stop apologizing for having standards and start embodying them without explanation. Your values become commands you live out with intention, not suggestions you bend under pressure. You become unshakable, not because the world stops shaking, but because you've trained yourself to stand firm. Problems don't disappear, but your posture toward them changes. A harsh comment, a missed opportunity, a moment of discomfort, they no longer throw you off course. You're no longer easily provoked, swayed by fleeting emotions or the unpredictable nature of others. You become the calm in the storm, the steady hand that steers your life. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's built in the quiet moments when you choose to pause, to reflect, to respond with clarity instead of reacting with impulse. It's choosing to journal that one small action each day, to hold yourself accountable, to measure your growth not by likes or followers, but by the promises you keep to yourself. Every time you choose response over reaction, you're laying another brick in your inner citadel, strengthening the foundation of your character. You're not just surviving the chaos, you're shaping it into something meaningful. That's the Stoic's power, and it's yours to claim. Keep walking this path, one deliberate step at a time, and watch how your life transforms. Chapter 7: Letting Go of the Need to be Understood. You've learned to shift from reaction to response, building a firewall of clarity that guards your peace and anchors your actions in intention. Now, let's take that strength further by releasing a weight that holds so many back, the need to be understood by others. Imagine your soul as a quiet harbor, unshaken by the storms of external judgment, where every choice reflects your inner truth, ready to let go of the desperate chase for validation and embrace the freedom of understanding yourself. Let's dive into Chapter 6 and discover the power of living for your own clarity. This firewall around your mind, this disciplined, deliberate way of responding, transforms everything. You're no longer stumbling through life's emotional highs and lows, you're walking forward with composure. Like a steady flame in a gusty wind, every word you speak, every action you take, every moment of silence becomes a reflection of self-possession. You govern yourself not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. This self-governance isn't just a habit, it's your daily discipline. The key to a peace that doesn't rely on calm circumstances. It's a peace you carry within, strong enough to weather any storm. Can you feel the power in that? It's not loud or theatrical, it's steady, felt in the quiet consistency of your choices. This peace becomes your strength, radiating through your work, your relationships, your challenges. It's a quiet gravity, a presence others sense even if they can't name it. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to shout or prove itself. It speaks through your actions, through the way you show up, day after day, aligned with your truth. When something triggers you, a harsh comment, a moment of rejection, pause, count to 10, breathe, feel the heat rising, the old habits itching to take over. This is your first gate to self-mastery, awareness. Instead of being swept away, choose stillness. Become the observer, not the reactor. Create a space between the sensation and your decision. That's where your power lives, where wisdom takes root. In that space, ask yourself, what's the most honorable way to respond? Not the loudest, not the fastest, not the one that feeds your ego, but the one that reflects the person you're becoming. Let your next move mirror your highest self, not your lowest impulse. Act from integrity, from vision, from principle, not from social pressure or fleeting emotion. Choose actions that strengthen you, that earn your own respect long after the moment fades. Do this consistently, especially when no one's watching, and your character begins to take shape. Like a sculptor's chisel carving marble, each response, each choice, etches a deeper definition of who you are, slowly, precisely, permanently. This isn't about grand gestures or public displays. It's about presence, not performance, substance, not show. The Stoic sharpens their edge not through loud declarations, but through the quiet discipline of choosing control over chaos, wisdom over wrath, direction over distraction. Every moment you master, every time you pause, reflect, and act with intention, you become the sculptor of your soul. Your character grows stronger, not through applause, but through the steady rhythm of living true to yourself. That's the Stoic's power, and it's yours to claim. Now, let's move into Chapter 6, letting go of the need to be understood. There's a quiet desperation in those who feel unheard, a yearning to be seen, validated, understood. It's a trap that can cage your soul, chaining you to the approval of others. The Stoics saw through this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about what other people do unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful. Why beg for understanding from those who may not even understand themselves?" The path to peace isn't paved with explanations to others, it's built through alignment with your own truth. Imagine the freedom of letting go of that need. When you stop chasing affirmation, you start to see yourself with greater clarity. The energy you once spent justifying your choices, explaining your dreams, or seeking validation can now be poured into understanding who you are and who you're becoming. Picture yourself untying a heavy anchor, letting it sink to the ocean floor as you sail freely toward your own horizon. The need to be understood often clouds your ability to understand yourself. But when you release it, your thoughts become sharper, your purpose clearer. You stop pleading for the world to see you and start seeing yourself, truly, deeply, without filters. This shift isn't about isolation, it's about liberation. It's choosing to live for your own principles, not the fleeting approval of others. Every time you let go of the need to be understood, you reclaim a piece of your power. You stop measuring your worth by others' nods and start measuring it by your own alignment. The Stoic's peace comes from within, from a mind that's steady, a heart that's anchored, a soul that's free. Keep sculpting, keep choosing, keep walking this path. The clarity you're building is your greatest strength, and the next step is yours to take. Chapter 8: Embrace the isolation of excellence. You've let go of the need to be understood, freeing yourself to live with authenticity and clarity, unshackled by the weight of others' perceptions. Now, let's step into the solitude that fuels true excellence, a quiet, powerful space where your purpose deepens and your strength takes root. Imagine yourself as a lone craftsman, shaping your destiny in the stillness, undistracted by the noise of the world. Ready to embrace the isolation that forges greatness? Let's dive into Chapter 7 and uncover the transformative power of walking your own path. When you release the obsession with how others see you, your actions become more honest, more authentic. You stop owing the world your story and start owing yourself your growth. Your energy isn't for endless explanations, it's for building something real. Not everyone will understand your silence, your choices, your vision. Some will mistake your discipline for distance, your focus for arrogance, your growth for betrayal. But that's not your burden to carry. You're not here to fit into their frame or to justify your path. You're here to build your own, to become someone whose presence speaks louder than any explanation ever could. Why waste your energy convincing others when you can invest it in creating yourself? Try this. Identify 3 things in your life you've been over-explaining, maybe a decision, a boundary, or a dream. Let go of the need to justify them. For each, write a single sentence of clarity for yourself, not for others. For example, I'm pursuing this career because it aligns with my purpose. Post these sentences somewhere private, a journal, a note on your desk. Let them be your new standard, a reminder that your clarity matters more than anyone's approval. This shift isn't about shutting others out, it's about centering yourself. About becoming the kind of person who needs no defense, no validation, just the quiet confidence of living true. Now, let's move into Chapter 7. Embrace the isolation of excellence. Excellence is lonely, isn't it? The top isn't crowded, and the journey to self-mastery demands a solitude most people avoid. But the Stoics didn't fear this isolation, they embraced it. They saw it as a forge where focus sharpens, reflection deepens, and intention clarifies. Solitude isn't the absence of connection, it's the presence of purpose. It's the sacred space where greatness takes shape, away from the clamor of applause. Epictetus, who lived as a slave, a teacher, and always a philosopher, built his wisdom not through social approval, but through silence and endurance. His strength wasn't validated by crowds, it was forged in solitude, tempered by suffering. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus said, the path to growth isn't lined with cheers, it's marked by doubt, confusion, and seasons of invisibility. But in those unseen moments, something powerful happens. Your discipline deepens, your vision sharpens, your soul matures. Those who chase recognition often lose sight of purpose. But those who chase purpose, they walk alone, but never aimlessly. They move with quiet conviction, like a lone tree standing tall in a vast field, its roots growing deep in the silence. That solitude is your forge, your temple, your sanctuary. In it, you hear your true thoughts without interference. Realign with your values without distortion. It's not emptiness, it's elevation. To rise above mediocrity, you must be comfortable being misunderstood, misjudged, or ignored. You must value progress over praise, integrity over attention. Greatness grows in silence, not spectacle, like roots stretching underground, unseen but unshakable. Schedule one day each week for focused solitude. Turn off notifications, speak only when necessary, and reflect on your path, your purpose, your habits. Use this time to make adjustments, to realign with what matters. Solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation, a chance to sharpen your edge and strengthen your core. Can you embrace the quiet, knowing it's where your power takes root? Now, let's move into Chapter 8, the armor of consistency. While others hunt for shortcuts or magic formulas, the Stoic builds armor through daily discipline. They don't try to hack the process, they become the process. Nothing is more powerful than consistency, not talent, not passion, not praise. Consistency is the great amplifier, the force that turns small actions into monumental results. Picture a river carving a canyon, drop by steady drop, over years of relentless flow. The person who shows up day after day, with resolve, will outlast the one waiting for bursts of motivation. The one who acts, even when it's mundane, will surpass the one chasing fleeting inspiration. Consistency is your armor, forged in the quiet moments when you choose to act despite boredom, doubt, or exhaustion. It's the decision to keep going when the world doesn't notice, when the results aren't immediate. It's showing up for yourself, again and again, because you know that every small step builds the foundation of who you're becoming. The Stoic doesn't rely on external rewards or spikes of motivation. They rely on the steady rhythm of their own resolve. That's the path to lasting strength. And it's yours to walk. Keep forging, keep showing up, and let's see how far this journey takes you. Chapter 9: The Armor of Consistency and Silence as Strength. You've embraced the solitude of excellence, forging your strength in the quiet where purpose takes root. Now, let's anchor that strength in the steady rhythm of consistency and the profound power of silence. Picture yourself as a master craftsman, shaping your life with deliberate, unwavering effort, your silence a shield against the world's noise. Ready to discover how consistency and silence can sculpt your character into something unshakable? Let's dive into Chapter 8 and explore the quiet disciplines that define the Stoic's path. Consistency isn't a word that sparkles, it doesn't grab headlines or glitter with excitement. But for the Stoics, it's everything. Marcus Aurelius journaled daily, not for applause, but to align his soul with truth. Seneca wrote letters, not chasing fame, but refining his mind. Epictetus taught the repetition of principles, not for novelty, but for mastery. They understood that the mind, like the body, is sculpted through steady, unrelenting effort. You don't become disciplined by dreaming of discipline. You become disciplined by doing the same meaningful thing, day after day, until it becomes who you are. Imagine your life as a stone, smoothed and shaped by the persistent flow of a river. That's consistency, quiet, unassuming, but transformative. The modern world sells a lie, that your life must always be new, improved, extraordinary, but the Stoic sees virtue in stability, in being the same person in rain or sunshine, in silence or storm. That kind of person is rare, and their rarity is their strength. They aren't swayed by moods, shifted by trends, or addicted to the rush of urgency. They show up, not because they feel like it, but because they've made a vow to their values. Consistency builds identity, and identity shapes destiny. You don't need new routines or perfect days. What you need is better consistency. The courage to keep going when it's mundane, when it's hard, when no one notices. Isn't that the kind of strength that lasts? Pick one action that strengthens your mind, body, or spirit. Maybe a morning journal, a daily walk, or 10 minutes of reflection. Do it every day. No negotiation, no excuses. Track it. Don't let feelings decide for you. Let your character lead. Over time, it's not the act itself that changes you, it's the discipline behind it. Consistency is the quiet power that helps you endure, the mental muscle that keeps you moving, the spiritual resolve that keeps you centered. It's the rhythm you build, the standard you set, the vow you keep to yourself. Do it because it anchors you when life tempts you to drift. Do it because the only true shortcut is showing up, day after day, without fail. Now, let's move into Chapter 9, Silence as Strength. In a world drowning in noise, silence is rebellion. In a culture obsessed with shouting to be heard, silence is power. To be silent isn't to be invisible, it's to be sovereign. The Stoics practiced silence, not as withdrawal, but as a source of strength. A quiet person is often the most formidable. They listen, think, and move with clarity. They absorb before responding, measure their words, and withhold impulsive reactions. Their silence isn't empty, it's preparation. Their stillness isn't avoidance, it's strategy. Seneca said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so is he." But the wise know when to hold back. Because truth doesn't shout, virtue doesn't scream, and wisdom waits. In a world where everyone's competing to be louder, the one who chooses silence speaks the loudest truth. Silence lets your soul surface, like a still lake revealing its depths. It's where you hear your real thoughts, uncover your true motives, and sharpen your direction. Silence protects you from reacting rashly, it buys you time, preserves your energy, and shields you from words you can't take back. It's the pause that lets you rise above impulse and ground yourself in principle. Strip away the noise, and what's left? The sound of your inner compass, strong and clear, guiding you forward. Can you imagine the power of trusting that voice? You don't owe the world your every thought or move. You don't have to announce your progress or broadcast your plans. You're allowed to work in peace, letting your growth reveal itself in time. Let your actions whisper your discipline, your stillness echo your strength, your restraint show your command. The Stoic knows that what you hold back defines you more than what you say. So, practice silence daily. Pause before responding. Listen before speaking. Reflect before acting. In those moments, your mind settles, your intention sharpens, and your clarity is reborn. This is how you build a life of quiet power. One silent, disciplined choice at a time. Keep forging your path. The strength you're building is yours forever. YouTube script. Chapter 10: The Quiet Power of Becoming. You've embraced silence as strength, wielding it like a shield to sharpen your clarity and guard your soul in a noisy world. Now, let's harness that quiet power to fuel your transformation, to become someone defined not by applause, but by the steady, deliberate work of growth. Picture yourself as a sculptor, chiseling away at your character in the stillness, each day shaping a stronger, clearer version of you. Ready to discover the quiet power of becoming? Let's dive into Chapter 10 and uncover the beauty of a life built through discipline, not display. What you choose not to say speaks volumes about what you've mastered. In a world that shouts for attention, silence isn't weakness, it's weight. A presence that commands respect without demanding it. That weight builds a quiet power, one that radiates through your actions, your focus, your resolve. Try this. Dedicate 1 hour each day to intentional silence. No speaking, no posting, no reacting, just observing, listening, thinking, reflecting. Let this hour be your sanctuary, a space to refine your thoughts before they become words. Silence sharpens your clarity, like a blade honed in quiet focus, preparing you to cut through life's noise with precision. Now, let's move into Chapter 10, the quiet power of becoming. The Stoic doesn't chase recognition, they become. Quietly, relentlessly. They don't seek the spotlight, knowing that what's done for applause fades when the crowd goes silent. While the world broadcasts ambition, the Stoic refines it. While others shout their dreams, the Stoic shapes their days. While others perform, the Stoic transforms. Becoming isn't loud or rushed, it's daily, disciplined, done in the moments no one sees. It's the steady rhythm of showing up, of choosing growth over glory. Marcus Aurelius captured it perfectly. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. That's the Stoic's essence, not debate or display, but demonstration through action. Becoming is internal, a self-forged journey that's never finished. It's chipping away at weaknesses, polishing your character, strengthening your conviction, one choice at a time. It's not about proving yourself to the world, it's about progressing toward your own potential. You don't need to be admired, you need to be aligned. Your value doesn't grow when others notice, it grows when you notice the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. And you choose to close it. The world may never clap, may never see your effort. That's okay. You will. You'll feel the weight of your consistency, the quiet confidence of your discipline. That's enough. Imagine your life as a quiet forge, where every day's effort hammers out a stronger version of you. With each disciplined choice, you feel lighter, clearer, freer. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You walk with conviction, not confusion. You speak less, but your words carry more weight. You seek less validation and contribute more substance. You stop proving and start becoming. One day, without fanfare, you'll realize you've become someone your past self would admire, someone built on character. Not noise, substance, not status. That's the Stoic's reward, earned in the quiet repetition of disciplined days. Each night, ask yourself, what did I become today? Not what you achieved or avoided, but who you became, stronger, clearer, calmer, wiser. Let that answer shape your next day. Let becoming, not appearing, be your lifelong pursuit. The truth most people run from? Nobody cares. And that's your liberation. It's why you must care about your growth, your mind, your soul, not for applause or followers, but for you. The Stoics didn't ask for attention, they asked for discipline, focus, virtue. They gave the world something rare, people who became better, not louder. Stop waiting for someone to notice. Stop begging for validation. Start noticing yourself. Start caring for yourself. Start building yourself, quietly, boldly, daily. The world may not be watching, but you are. That's enough. Picture yourself as a lone traveler on a quiet path, each step a testament to your resolve. The crowd may never cheer, but your soul will know the truth of your effort. Keep becoming, keep sculpting, keep walking. Your masterpiece is taking shape, and the next day is yours to shape it further.